So, I've been hurt. How about you? I mean, really, if you've been alive any length of time on the earth, you've been hurt. You've been lied to. You've probably been stolen from. You've probably been treated like dog poo. You've been stabbed in the back. You've been betrayed. You've been used, chewed up, spit out after you've been used. And all that stuff creates what we call heart pain, brokenheartedness. Well, I am here to tell you that God is the healer of the brokenhearted. But oftentimes, the way that God comes into our hearts to heal is through forgiving the person who hurt us. Okay? It's like salvation. The way God has provided salvation for every single solitary individual, but why is not everyone on the planet accepting it? Even those who've heard the gospel, they've even maybe seen God do some things, why are they still unsaved? They might call themselves Christians and all that, whatever, but they're still not living for God. They still are not submitted to the Holy Spirit. They still are not in connection with God. They still have not bowed their hearts to God. Why is that? Well, because they have not opened that door called faith to receive God. They still have not done what He has asked in order to receive the salvation. See, so it's like God has all this provision for us. He's got provision for our brokenheartedness, but oftentimes the way He heals, He's asking us to do something also. God has grace for us, but He's asking us to humble ourselves. You know, God has amazing wealth and provision for us, but He's asking us to listen diligently to Him and obey Him. See, God's asking us all kinds of things in order for us to get something from Him. He's asking for us this very small thing so He can give us the world. You know, what He's asking from us is very small in comparison to what He's trying to get to us. But the reason why there are so many issues in our lives, particularly coming back to the heart issue and why we remain in pain oftentimes, is because we're not forgiving. And it's like, I know that forgiveness does not solve every problem. In fact, when Jesus was hanging on the cross, He said, "Father, forgive them. Now, for they know not what they do." Now, when Jesus was hanging there up on the cross saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," because He forgave them right then in that moment, did the pain of the cross suddenly go away? No. So when you forgive somebody, that doesn't necessarily mean your pain is going to go away, but you release them. You release the pain that you have to God. You say, "All right, God, whatever. I'm going to open up a door and I'm going to just say, you know what? You handle them, Lord. You deal with them. You take care of them. You do whatever it is you want to do with them." And you know, you may get to this place where you say, "Lord, you have mercy on them, for they do not know what they were doing." Yeah, Devin, but what if they did know what they were doing? Well, it's like the people who crucified Jesus. They technically knew what they were doing. The Pharisees, they knew what they were doing. They knew they manipulated Jesus' murder, basically, His crucifixion. But so it's like, what was Jesus saying when He was saying they know not what they do? It's saying like they really don't get what they just did. They have no idea the depth and the height and all that. They really don't know. So it's like when you get hurt by someone, a lot of times they really don't know what they've done. You know, even though they have. They don't know that when they hurt you, they shattered your entire humanity. They crushed you. They deformed you on the inside. They don't know that that's what they did. They think that they just talked behind your back and used you and abused you or whatever because their focus was on themselves. They're focused on what they were going to get out of whatever they did. But when you forgive a person, it it releases them. It's like this. When you hold someone guilty of something that they've done to you, that's literally what you're doing. You're holding them in your heart. You're holding them. They've gone on and lived their lives, and they might have even changed, so that when you see them again 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, whatever, they are not even the same person that hurt you. The same person that pops up in your mind whenever you think of them and you want to exact your revenge on them. They're not even that person anymore. In fact, that very person that you're upset with could be dead. Like, not literally dead. They could be just that they don't even exist anymore. That person that hurt you. So when you see that person that hurt you again, you're not dealing with the same person. You're just not. In some cases you are dealing with the exact same person, but even in that, you can't exact revenge on them. You can't hold this, because that anger that you feel inside, and that, oh, they hurt me, and that woundedness, it's contaminating you. It's doing nothing to them. So it's like when you forgive somebody, you let them go. You don't hold on to them anymore. You let them go. You release yourself from being the judge and jury and executioner on their lives, and you allow God to do that. And He's not gonna execute them on your behalf. So don't go there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna let God do it. Yeah, I'm gonna pray for God. No, that's not how that works either. Man, if that was the case, there would be no humans left on the earth. There'd be like 8 of us. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to share that today with you guys, that forgiveness is for you. You know, it's the doorway that you have to open in order for God to work in your heart, to work that healing in your heart, to mend that wound. And there will be a lot of opportunities for you to use that, a lot of opportunities for you to open up that door to allow Him to be who He is. He is the healer, but you've got to allow Him to be that. And when you hold on to that bitterness and resentment, you're not allowing Him in. You're not. So anyway, there's so much I could say about that, but I just wanted to encourage you guys with that today. And if there's anybody that you have in your life that needs forgiveness, man, you need to forgive them, because if you don't forgive them, God's not going to forgive you. Yeah, there's a little bit of motivation to forgive. And who said forgiveness was easy? Jesus hanging up on the cross was not easy. Him saying, Father, forgive them, was not easy. But it was necessary. It needed to be done. You know, so it's like if there's someone that you have in your life that needs to be forgiven, you just got to let them go and forgive them. That doesn't necessarily mean the pain is going to go away. And that doesn't necessarily mean because there is a presence of pain and woundedness in your life, when you think of that person, that you haven't forgiven them. You have. But you just got to... and it's like when that pain pops up again, and it's like, oh, it's an opportunity to say, no, you know what, I've forgiven them, I'm letting that go. And it can be kind of like an exercise, really, kind of like a building up of a muscle, in a sense, that you just keep saying, you know, I forgive them, I'm letting that go. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you guys that be free of the clutter of any kind of resentment or bitterness or envy or anger that you have toward anybody from your past or anybody in your current life, you know, because it's not going to hurt anyone else but you. So, you guys, thank you for listening, and I hope you will subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. See ya.